Hey guys, this is Trevor with Orangetheory. It's time to progress into the upper half of your leg and your low back. So we're gonna start with a hamstring stretch, utilizing the Viper from Hyperice. So seated position, hips are on the ground, roller is underneath the thigh that you're gonna use. If you have access to the Viper, you can put it on level 1. As you move forward, you're moving slowly, adding pressure by lifting your body weight, hips forward. If you feel like you're ready for it, you could even stack the leg over like you did for the calf stretch. And you're working from behind the knee up into the bottom of the glute. Finding hot spots, pausing 8 to 10 seconds. If you're ready for it, you can even try to bring your upper body forward and add a little bit of a stretch into the pressure. So you find the pressure, find the hot spot, come forward with the body. It's gonna deepen the stretch, it's gonna deepen the pressure as you're applying the Viper to the bottom half of your leg. As you start to loosen your hamstring, you can roll over to your IT band, which runs from the hip down to the top of the knee. Rolling over, being careful not to roll over the knee itself or over the hip. You don't wanna create a bursa rolling over the bony part of your hip. Same idea here. Try to relax the quad. Use the hand to support your upper body. Use the foot or leg and the opposite side leg as your anchor. And just slowly move from one spot to the next. Find a hot spot, slow down in it. Really thinking about trying to relax the quad. Try not to tense up and straighten out your leg. Relax the quad. It will hurt. It's intense, especially if you have tight IT bands and you run a lot. As you finish off the IT band, release the pressure, lift your hip up, and you slide down towards your glute. So the outside edge of your hip and your glute, working back and forth. As you roll higher up, you can roll your hips towards the roller, and you can start to target your TFL. The easiest way to find your TFL, put your fingers on your hip, and it's about the length of your thumb behind your hip bone. So about the length of the thumb behind your hip bone, and you can bear it out into that. With the roller, or if you're really feeling like you want some pain, small ball will hurt even more. As you progress through the glute, you've hit the outside, the glute med, outside of your hip. You can roll yourself into a seated position on the roller. And from here, you have a couple different options to target your glute maximus. You can have your legs straighter like you did with the hamstring stretch. You can pull inward if you like. You can roll the knee outward and bring the foot in for a figure 4 stretch. And again, move back and forth slowly, finding the hot spots, finding the tight spots. Let the vibration of the roller do the work. If you don't have a vibrating roller, you use your body weight on a non-vibrating roller, or your can of food, or your ball. As the glute begins to loosen, you progress up to the low back, coming off the roller completely. And as you go into the low back, this is a move you really do not need to be going too far or too hard or too deep. If you have any kind of low back injury, avoid overextending your back. If you have the vibrating roller, let the vibration do the work. Lean up against the roller, support yourself with your hands or your elbows, however you feel comfortable. If you feel like you're ready, you can kind of roll over to the side. You can roll to the other side, but really taking note not to overextend, especially in the low back. Does that feel okay? As your low back loosens up, we're gonna go back down to the upper leg, rolling over. We'll start with the core and we'll work our way down to the quads. So starting with the roller in your belly, just to the side of your belly button, if it feels like it's not getting into your core, slide the roller out and lie on the edge. If your center of your belly button is here, the roller is here. So you use the edge of the roller and you work back and forth, allowing the roller to release your abs. As you start to loosen up, you can shift your body weight forward, working down into your hip flexors, working just below the bone in your hip, letting the roller hit the top half of your quad. Good. Trying to relax the hip, relax the quad, relax the core. If you really want to add to your core stretch, you can start to push yourself up into a cobra position. It'll give you a little bit deeper stretch in your core and your hip flexor. As this all begins to loosen, you begin to progress down the top half of your quad. As you start to work the muscles in the top of your quad, your rectus femoris, running from your top of your hip down to just above your knee. Again, being careful not to roll over the knee once you get down to that position. You don't want to start with a hyperextended knee. Good. When you find the hot spots, you hang out for 8 to 10 seconds, doing your best to relax the quad, not tensing up and holding. Feel okay? Good. As you loosen up the quad, you'll progress into the inner thigh. You'll want to come up off the roller and set yourself up in a position that allows you to be supported. Good position here. She's starting in a kneeling position with the leg extended out. Not a lot of pressure. Again, you can add pressure with your upper body. If you have the flexibility, you can slowly work yourself into more of a lying position with this opposite side leg behind you or out in front of you, whatever works for your flexibility. There you go. Again, rolling from just above the knee up into the hip. Feel okay? Another position I like to use for myself on this one, I actually go almost to a prone position. So you would take your leg, you can do that too. There you go, leg behind you, knee bends, and you just work from here. Again, if you have a friend nearby at home, I know we're supposed to be isolating right now, but if you have a friend at home, they can apply pressure and add to the stretch for you. That feel okay? Moving when they need to, and releasing.